Hi, God Dream Chasers Worldwide, and we are back here with another video. Today, we want to do something yet again different. I watched Blood Sisters recently. Mind you, this is not an expert review, this is from a fan's perspective, and just a few observations here and there when I watched the movie. So, let's go right into it. Yeah, so I think first thing that comes to mind is the title of the movie, Blood Sisters. Blood Sisters. I think the title is fitting for these reasons. One, there was a lot of blood on the hands of these sisters, like that's Sarah and Ken. With this thing about them having a friendship that rivals siblingship, it's actually interesting because in cinema and movie or theater, I mean even in art, we have a lot of examples of romances. Okay, from my side, the movies me and my friends are exposed to. We have a lot of romances to celebrate. You can celebrate, let's say, Floki and Ragnar. I mean, if you're a Peaky Blinders fan, Atta Shelby and Thomas Shelby, they were brothers, but they also had a unique romance. Who am I leaving out? Sam and Frodo in Lord of the Rings. Even on the African corner, Aki and Popo, like we have examples of romances in movies, but we don't have a lot of cis-man. So I think this is a big win for cis-manship. So let's give a big round of applause. Nigerian movies, they actually thought that they have to do something for cis-manship. I don't know, why don't we have so much on like cis-man? Is it that in real life your girls don't rock with each other like that? Is that the case? I mean, I look through my life and I mean, do I have like some cis-mans that I'm so impressed about? I mean, maybe Anita and Yaya. But outside of that, we should have a discussion about these things. That movie is very star-studded. It has all the old Nollywood faces that I grew up watching, and I'm seeing some of the new guys too. Ramsey Noah is in this movie, and Ramsey Noah is acting as a bodyguard. Noah could have been the lover boy. Ramsey Noah could have taken a more central role, but I think it was a good choice giving Ramsey Noah like a bodyguard because it makes us see other sides of Ramsey Noah that we have never seen. And I think playing a bodyguard is difficult because you don't talk so much. He has places where he talks, but you don't talk so much. So now you are acting with your eyes and your body. Like you have to show your emotions, your thought process through like your eyes and I'm not the expert, but I think it's a very difficult thing to do if you don't have words also to communicate. So for him to show up and say, I'll do this, or that was what he was given and play the role the way he played, kudos. It reminds me of an interview I watched of Ramsey some years ago when he was asked what type of role he would like to play that he has not played. He said he would like to be a total imbecile because it's something somebody has not seen. I'm like, this is now reflecting he's an actor who wants to show different sides of himself, and that is impressive. And like I was saying, the fact that he's not talking and has to still act and project that, I mean, you could still feel his presence in the movie. That's a good thing. I mean, and that also speaks a lot about Charlie Chaplin, the type of comedy Charlie Chaplin used to do, and also Mr. B. Like, you are making people laugh, and you are just using the storyline, your facial expressions, and all that. You are not speaking, and you still have to communicate humor to people. So, I mean, kudos to these legends in the cinema world. So, about Kola, that's Kate Henshaw's child who was killed at his own wedding. I like that too. What I like about it is that the movie is also highlighting the fact that not all of us have neurotypical brains. There are psychopaths and sociopaths amongst us. And we don't have a lot of African movies like talking about these type of behaviors, psychopathic behaviors and sociopathic behavior. I'm sure those of us who are familiar with Hollywood will see movies where psychopaths, beating, we are familiar with such characters and we have come to associate them like with a Western disease. It's not a Western disease. There are people in Africa who do not have neurotypical brains. They are narcissists, they are psychopaths, they are sociopaths. These people live amongst us. They will gaslight you, they will take you to the deepest parts of hell. If you are in such a relationship, you don't need prayer, he will not change. He kept saying he will change, he will change you. He's not going to change. I mean, he needs help. He needs professional help. So I want more African movies telling these stories, not just about psychopaths and sociopaths, other mental health issues. And there is Kate Henshaw. Man, I love Kate Henshaw's acting. I mean, because Kate Henshaw has acted so much, it's difficult to say, oh, this is a standout performance. But what she was asked to do, she did it. Like, she made me hate her. I mean, the air of superiority around her, her condescending looks, the you can't touch me, the nonchalance, how she related with people who were below her class as if they were trash, and you could say it like, I mean, who are you type of, I hated it. I love the acting. But yes, on Kate Henshaw, after Kola dies, there's this scene where the funeral is going on and Kate is not at the funeral, and she goes to a place and she's wearing white. That's actually interesting. Like, Kate is wearing white in the middle of the celebration of her son's funeral. I thought that, oh, it was supposed to be a show of strength on the part of the movie writers. They want to show like this a strong woman, unbreakable. But then I searched it up, and in some cultures, people actually wear white when they are having their burials. It's because they believe, especially in the Asiatic cultures, they believe in the afterlife and rebirth and all that. So death is not the end of life. I mean, so it's the hope that their loved one will be reborn and probably reborn into a better circumstance and make better decisions and all that. So it's actually appropriate in some cultures to wear white whilst mourning. And also her absence at her son's funeral. I've heard that in Yoruba and some African cultures, the mother or the parent is not expected to outlive the child. The child is expected to outlive the mother. The child is supposed to bury the mother. So when you, the mother, is alive and your child is dead, you are not allowed to go to the funeral. I mean, I don't know how fair that is. Interesting. This is a very powerful family. This is a family that is very powerful, has been influenced with a lot of westernization, a contemporary family, and they are still bonded by this cultural element. Even though across the movie you see them skip legal lines, moral lines here and there, you still see her paying tribute to that culture. So it brings the interesting conversation of how much of cultural influences are still, like, how strong are cultural influences in our everyday lives in contemporary times, and also whether I mean, like when it comes to funeral, I hear that some women, especially when their husbands die, they are still subjected to like harsh funeral rites and all that. So those conversations still come up. Like, I mean, are these still going on? How fair are they, and how do we interject the legal and the cultural issues? And that is something I'm putting out there to you, the subscribers, to have discussions on. So I've been talking about actors. I want to talk about like the Black sisters themselves, like Kemi and Sarah. They are acting. Nancy Esme, who was acting as Sarah, is my favorite person's favorite person. So I dare not say anything bad about Nancy. The acting was good. But this is what I noticed. If you are supposed to act in roles that you have, like, they are roles that you are familiarized with, so like you are supposed to act in love. Like, you know what it means like to be in love, at least in your own little way. So like it's easier to communicate that. Angry, it's easy to communicate that. I think the two of them were asked to like communicate something that in real life rarely happens to anybody. Black Sisters was all that. Do I have to give the movie a rating? No, I will not. I enjoyed watching it. I would recommend it to everybody. Let's watch more African movies. Let's watch more Nollywood movies, more Bollywood movies. Let's push our crafts out there. Let's make our arts better. And when we watch these things, let us not just interact with them as entertainment, because art tells a story. It's hinting on real stories, people's lives, people's issues. So let's engage some of these issues. So if there are any of the discussion points that I raised in this video that you are interested in, please comment on it. Share your thoughts, and let's keep this community interactive. Till next time, I love you all.